Hi, this is Jason here with another segment of working on my Venza 2010 Venza all-wheel drive V6 here. It's a limited edition. Regardless of that, it's going to be the same for all of the cars. I am replacing the rear left ABS sensor. I want to show you exactly where it plugs in and also how to take off your lug nuts without using the factory lug nut wrench, because it is garbage, and using a torque wrench with a torque bit for a power torque wrench works the best. It doesn't strip. And I'll show you right now how to find where to plug out the ABS sensor in the back rear left or right. And the front's really easy. The front is under the wheel well. The part number here for this box, make sure you get it, is 89546-0T011. Right there. And it's a Toyota, and I got this actually online. I ordered it, but you can call any Toyota dealership and give them the part number and they'll fix it. This is for the left rear main sensor. There's a different one for each side, the way it fits. The front's totally different. It's a little different setup, and the right side is similar, but you have to make sure you get the right side. This is my left rear side that I was working on today. Now, excuse my car for being a little sloppy, but exactly what you do is remove the bottom cover first. The floor cover here on the door sill. So I'll show you the cover. Took this off. Right here is just a few clips. Very simple. That's the cover that's on the door. On the bottom, take that off first. Then you need to remove the housing in the back over here. That's right here. This really flaps off as this pinches right off there. And then inside here is the magic. You see right there, that white clip? That white clip right there, wire harness, is exactly where the ABS sensor plugs in. And that's where you're going to plug in your new one. The aftermarket ones do not work. Everyone says they do. They're too short. Go to Toyota. For $230, includes shipping and also includes tax for your ABS sensor, and I'll show you exactly which one to get. And I'm going to take the wheel off in 1 second, but what I'm using right here is a torque wrench and also a 7/8 torque bit to take off the tire. And I have jack stands. I have an extra one here. How I jacked my car up was I used a factory jack and also a jack stand, and in the back for safety I went under the subframe and I jacked up the subframe. It's really hard to jack up your car completely with just the subframe, so I used the side jack to get the wheels off. And I have all my wheels chalked around here, a brick and a wheel chalk, another brick, and the parking brake is on. You have to do that whenever you're taking your tires off. And this is the old ABS sensor right there. So let's get to work. I'm going to take my tire off, and then I'm going to go right and put in a new ABS sensor. So I'm not going to show you all the steps, but I'm just going to give you an idea. I'll actually zoom in a little bit when I'm putting in the new ABS sensor for you. The best way to get off your lug nuts is right here. 7/8 torque bit with extender and a really good torque wrench. And to torque the bolts back, it's 75 foot-pounds of pressure or torque you would use to actually torque it back. But right now my bolts are already loose, so they should come off really quickly. I already loosened them on the ground, and then I'm going to remove them. Pretty simple. You start with the top, and this is, you see how loose they are? Super loose. I'm going to go in a figure 8 pattern or a star pattern, and that's how I remove them. And you don't have to see all that, and I'll come back when I show you how to remove or how to put in the new sensor. Check it out, guys. I'm back here with the next part of the installment. This is the new ABS sensor from Toyota. Don't buy aftermarket. Definitely buy Toyota. Aftermarket does not work. It's too short, and the sensor will be stretching and it won't fit correctly in your car. Everyone tries to make it work, but make it the right way. Spend a little extra. So the sensor basically has a cap on it when you get it, and this is where it connects right here. I'm going to check the connection to make sure Toyota did a good job with making this correct. It is taped up when you get it, and then you have a little rubber housing right there that goes into the top right here of the car, and it connects into right here, right by the side of your disc brakes. So right in the back here is where it connects on the side. You don't have to take off the caliper, you don't have to do any of that. It's right behind here on the side, so easy. You unbolt it with a 10mm here, connect it with a 10mm here, 10mm here, goes right in over here through the hole in your car, and then it comes out right in here into the wire harness where I showed you earlier. Very simple. So what I'm going to do here is just disconnect. Now this is the best part of the installment, the easiest part. The factory market part works perfect. Aftermarket, garbage. 4 inches too short and never hits the wire harness. So right here, I'm going to point to, this is actually a rubber piece that goes inside here. I push that in with a flathead screwdriver. That's actually so water can't get into the actual inside of the car. Then the wire goes all the way down. It bolts here with a 10mm with the extension on a ratchet, small ratchet actually, just the small ratchet set that I have, a Stanley ratchet set. Then it bolts right here, 10mm. Right now it's all hand tightened just to see if everything lines up properly. And then I have the sensor, has a cover on it right now. All it does, you put it in down over here, and it bolts right in. I gotta take this piece off, just the cover. All the sensor is like a magnet, and it slides right in to the housing and right down on the side here. So what we're gonna do is put this in. I have the bolt right here, little 10mm head. This one's a longer one, other ones are shorter. That's shorter and shorter, and it goes right in here. I have it plugged in just partially inside, but once I put this in, I'll go inside and plug it in, and then put the tire back on, tighten all the bolts up, put the tire back on, lower the car down, and then I'll mess with the inside, putting back all the plastics. And I took out some of the back as well. Some people took the seats out of their car. You don't have to take the seats out of their car. Just the molding on the side right here. That's it. And let's put this baby back in. On the side here, I'll zoom in after for you. I did notice the new one's very tight to go into this area. I don't want to break it, but the aftermarket one, not the aftermarket one, but the original looks like that too. It has little fins on it. It looks like it has to get pushed in pretty significantly so it doesn't move, which I don't like. I wish it would have been smoother. The old one was worn away, so it goes on a lot smoother. I'll put some gloves on for this, make it a little easier. Gotta make sure you shift it a little bit. I'll zoom in after and show you everything inside there before I put the tire back on. I'm going to put the bolt back in there. It's one little bolt. Hand tighten it first, and then I'm going to tighten up by hand. Everything is hand tightened right now, just to make sure. But it looks like this is good. It's going to work today. The car back on the road. I just got pretty much almost done with tightening the bolts. I tightened them up just enough to be able to snug, but not too tight. So I tighten this one, tighten the sensor down here, tighten right here, and then I'm going to push this in with a flathead screwdriver. The rubber bushing, or rubber seal, I guess you'd say, that it's on the wire so no water gets into here. Like a suction kind of seal in a way. And then we'll plug it in, put the tire back on, and it's good to go. But I'll zoom in for you and show you what I did in 1 minute. So right here, like I was just talking about earlier, is that little rubber bushing or just seal to hold it into the frame of the car so water doesn't get in there. That's where the sensor wire goes through the car. All the way down here to where it brackets into the frame or the fender well. Then also here for support. And then the best part, the sensor is right down in here, if you can see it. Now it's kind of dark. That's where it bolts right into. It's really simple. This one bolt slides right out. Really, really simple. Right down in there. And now inside, you'll see the two pieces put together. I'll show you in here. I didn't slide it in completely yet, but I'm going to. With the focus of the camera. So the wire from outside is inside. I gotta connect those two pieces right there. I'm just gonna slide them in together. That's all I gotta do. Put the plastics all back together. Took out some bolts too. Took out a bolt over here, and then I pulled the plastic all the way out. Some of them clips. Hopefully going back together will be fun and easy. Don't take your whole seats out because you don't need to, because all it is, the clips are right in there, the side of your wheel well, and the inside. Very simple. Let's put my seat down, and I'll show you what I did on the inside. Didn't have to do this. There's my tire right there, awesome tires. I took out the back here, took out a few things, because most people were saying you gotta take out the whole molding, but you don't have to. And I have my cover for the floor here, and also the mats that I have in there. I have an aftermarket mat. That's the cover in the back there. And overall, as you see, this car is back on the road in a little bit, putting it back together. And I hope you enjoyed that video. If you have any questions, comments, but please like, share, and subscribe. That greatly appreciated. That would really help. If you want to see any other videos, I just basically do my research and try to figure out how to do it myself. If I can safely, making sure I use 2 jack stands, and also think before I act. But I hope that helped you out. And I went from a busted harness to a brand new. So I'm Jason Curlin here, and have a great day. I hope you enjoy your Venza. This is my 2010 all-wheel drive Venza V6. Regardless of what kind of Venza you have, the rear main sensors are all the same when it comes to model from 2009 to 2006, 15, or 16. Very similar. They pretty much fit all the vehicles, and maybe even Lexus as well too. And I hope you have a great day and enjoy. Take care, be soon, and have a great